Alright guys, so I got this thing running and then realized after that I never bled the clutch. So, clutch is down in here and I have to bleed it. So actually first I have to connect it and then I have to bleed it. Good thing is, oh, I forgot to bring it out here, but the good thing is I bought the Taliaferro clutch hose. Let's go see where it is. Let's see. Here it is. So, ordered the Taliaferro clutch hose. I told them to send me clear if they could, but whatever was in stock, and very, very happy that clear was in stock. Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a fan of brightly colored engine bays. So, in either case, I'm going to spend a few minutes here. I just drained coolant, like a gallon or so, maybe a gallon and a half. I lost the bucket, it's over there. But my thought is I have to take all these hoses out again, at least get them out of the way, so that I can hook up the clutch and then start, at the very least, gravity bleeding it. So, got to deal with that. So, one of the things I'm doing, I already mentioned it, is replacing the original soft clutch cable with the genuine Saab Taliaferro genuine Saab braided hose. So I was actually looking at it backwards. I thought this part was going to go down to the clutch and this threaded into the clutch master, but boy was I wrong. So after taking a look at it again, this part screws into here, and then the part with the clip actually goes down here. I just had a flashlight. Let me grab that so we can see. So it's pretty easy actually, although I don't know exactly how the clip comes out. I just know that when I put my so this is the slave right there with this green, this guy right here. So there's a little clip that holds the slave cylinder, or the hose in anyways. It's one of these little clips. And if we're being 100% honest, I didn't really see the way that was in there. I just, when I put in my little O-ring puller, it just flew out. So I'm gonna have to hop online and take a look and see. Alternatively, if you're taking, I have a feeling it goes up, like up from the bottom, because I definitely couldn't see it from the way that it was. So I have a feeling it just goes up. But it looks like it's pretty easy. I just sprayed a little of WD-40 in there to lube it up real quick before I try taking it apart. But I'm not going to be able to do this with the camera. But looks like hose just pops out of there at this point, and then screws into this little manifold-like thing, which then is clipped down in. And then the bleed valve is right there. So this is pretty easy actually, removing this. There's a little 10mm plastic nut. It holds it right here. There's this metal thing that goes under the weather stripping. I just used a flathead to sort of open it up a little bit, and then it came up. And the other part that you can't really see is right here. There's a plastic tab right here. I just use my O-ring puller and pull it out like towards the strut tower, and then just slides right off. Disconnect the alarm sensor, the hood sensor, and then it just flips right out of the way. Oh yeah, there's another little like a zip tie that holds it to the frame there, but that was pretty easy to just push it with some, it actually didn't break, just pushed it with the screwdriver and popped right out. So now anyways, I'm just gonna give that a couple minutes to soak before I go ripping it apart. And then it's pretty simple. You just snake the hose on through, screw it in there. Pretty easy, hope. Famous last words. But that's today's project. All right, so admittedly I'm terrible at like documenting when I do things, but I just bled the clutch on the 9.3. Went and bought the power bleeder, the Motive 001, I think is what it is. It's the European one, and the cap that comes with it fits right onto the brake reservoir. So there's just a clip that holds it in on this side. So once you get that clip out, I just used my O-ring pullers, my little Harbor Freight O-ring pullers. Probably not that one, but use those. Pull the clip out. The actual line comes right out, just pops right out, nice and easy. Genuine Sub has the O-ring on it, so you don't have to worry about that. Then just goes down here and it screws into the little manifold looking thing. Torque it down and you're good to go. But then you just hook up the power bleeder to the reservoir, pump it up with 15 pounds of pressure, and then just crack the bleeder. It's that simple. Well, actually, first you got to suck out all the old fluid out of there, then pressurize it, and then hook the bleeder up there. Super easy. I don't think that I needed to make instructions on this, but it does say to like pressurize it first just to make sure the power bleeder is not leaking. The brass fittings will almost definitely leak. Mine did. I didn't have any Teflon tape and I didn't feel like going to get it, but mine definitely leaked. So it leaked a little bit of brake fluid on the car, but not a huge deal. It just dripped on the transmission. So make sure you get Teflon tape for that if you're putting that together. But otherwise, pretty easy. The only thing, I had asked a couple guys, they weren't sure, but I did have to push my clutch pedal to the floor to get fluid to pass through. Once I did that, it flushed pretty quickly. So it definitely flushed the new fluid first, but then it didn't get any pedal pressure. So I was pumping it, nothing came up. But then I just pushed the pedal to the floor, left it there, and then bled it again, and it came right up. So anybody doing one of these, I don't know if that's necessarily the way you're supposed to, but it's what worked for me. But that's that. So that's done. I am going to go to Harbor Freight in a couple minutes. I got to get like an extension for my jack so I can get under the car, because it really only lifts it, you know, a little bit. So I'd like to get under there. Then my intention is to put the exhaust on today so that I can actually start it, and then I should be able to just drive it. Put some wheels on it and just drive it at least out into the driveway and back. So keep updated on that. Then once that's done, and it's actually mobile, I'll start doing the fun stuff like the brakes and all that. But that's my plan for today. Does run. I think I started it on video before. But now it gets to be the actual fun stuff. So I had to go to Harbor Freight to get the extender thing. I'll show you guys that in a second. But coolant's all filled back up, well, most of the way up anyways. Just gonna add a little bit. Wastegate's back on. I gotta bring this to a shop and have either a screamer pipe put on or have it routed back into the downpipe. My original plan was to have it back into the downpipe, but I guess we'll see. And then the same guy will build a new intercooler pipe for me. Just gotta get it together so I can drive it there. But I am now actually just lifted up the car. So anyways, guys that are working on the floor, you know, if you have the Harbor Freight jack, maybe the 3 tons go higher, I'm not sure, but I have the 2 ton here. Anyways, Harbor Freight sells this thing. It's like a cross beam. I don't know what it's actually for, but the bar itself is what, like 2 inches tall, and then the things extend another 2 or 3 inches. So it adds like 5 inches to what you can jack up. So on this car, which happens to be regular height, I could just fit it right under there and then lift it up, which is kind of nice. But if it were lowered, I'd probably have to jack it up without this. The nice thing is with their, I guess, better jacks, the pad where it mounts, there's a, oops, sorry guys. There's under the rubber, there's a big Allen. So you take that out, and then that thing bolts right in its place. And then they're more or less interchangeable. So now I have the ability to jack it up an extra few inches so that I can get my not so slim body under there, and it makes it a lot easier doing stuff under the car. I have SUV jack stands in the front, which make it pretty high. I thought those were because of their size, but they're not as tall. So I have to put them on a cinder block just to get them up a little bit higher. But anyways, I am now going to get under the car and start knocking down the old exhaust. So I should have plenty of room now to get under here, start pulling the exhaust down, and then put the JT back together and back up there. Shouldn't be too bad. The downpipe that was made for this car, well, for the red car, for the convertible, the downpipe that was made onto the convertible was meant to mate right up to a JT. So what I did, I had just a JT cap back before, and then I bought a whole nother set, and I used the downpipe. I left the cap back on the convertible and put a new downpipe on it, so it just mates up. And on this car, I'm going to use the custom downpipe and the new cap back. So I'll show you that once it's all laid out, but it should just be a minute. Let me just get the old exhaust off here, and then I'll lay it out. See you in a bit. So, I got the old exhaust out. It's all sitting over there. And then here's the JT. So I got the downpipe for the HX35 and what would essentially replace the flex pipe. But I got those in, and now it's going to be time for the first muffler, which will go that. So it goes this way, and then the two pipes that go around the gas tank. You got those two there. I just got to figure out which way they go, and then the rear muffler, and then I'll be able to cinch it all down. But looks pretty good under here. No, this one up here is loose in the back, so I got to take a second and see if I can throw a washer on that so that it's good. But otherwise, all the heat shields are in pretty good shape, so I'll keep them up for now. But here we go. I don't know how this is gonna go, but here we go. I'm actually gonna move this a little more. those of you who have done this, you gotta get in there. Just make sure that the exhaust is past the slits, otherwise you'll have exhaust leaks. Looks like this one was pushed pretty far in the last time, so I'll have to take a look at it, but it seems okay. I might just spray a little WD-40 in there in case I have to wiggle it on. But so far it seems okay, so we'll see. Let's move on. Ew, spider webs. Let's see. Sorry if this is crooked, guys. Alright, so I'm going to show under the car now that the exhaust is done. I got the old exhaust here. Honestly, I ended up giving up on this yesterday because I couldn't get it straight. This is the most difficult time I've ever had with a JT. I think it has more to do with the fact that it got beat up in shipping than anything else, but ended up going on, excuse me, going on pretty straight. So, as I said before, custom downpipe for the HX35 that goes into the JT. It starts there. Had him just weld a V-band onto it so the downpipe could come off. Rear O2 sensor up there, which I have it in right now because it's got the stock ECU, but once I switch the tune over, I'll turn off the rear O2 sensor and put the wideband there. But then this is the JT from the front anyways. It's tucked up nice and high. There's a bracket back there that I don't remember. I don't have the instructions, but there's a bracket that comes with this, and it's supposed to support that big bend around the gas tank. I'm pretty sure that it somehow mounts to that clamp that you can see by the jack stand over there. I'm gonna move over there in just a second, but I have a feeling it goes there, but it's meant to support the exhaust so that it's not banging around, because in my experience with the JTs, because they're big and the heat shields are there, they rattle around. So I'm gonna move real quick and show you guys the back. So wiggled my way to the back here, and you can see the first muffler has the stock hangers on it. Comes back. This is all slip fit. Goes right around the gas tank. It's a pretty good fit. Like I said, I think the bracket goes here, but I don't know where it goes to. I don't think it goes to this one because there's a bracket right here. Goes right back. All the stock hangers, like I said, plus one that I'm missing. And nice chrome tip. So here's the JT. I think I said in another video, the JTs don't exist anymore. I think another company may have bought them because in looking for the instructions, I was hoping to find a PDF of the instructions. There's another company that comes up if you search for JT. So I think another company may have bought them, but we're good. Exhaust is on. I've actually already started it once, so exhaust is kind of hot, so I'm trying not to touch it, but that's it. Anybody that's putting one of these together, don't use cement. If anything, put some sort of high temp grease on them for two reasons. The grease, of course, so you can turn it while it's being put together, but then they tend to rust together. So if you put the grease in there, work it around, when it does come time to take it apart, because either it's rusted or whatever reason. It just makes life a little bit easier. Another thing that I found was having a big pipe wrench handy, because once these go on, sometimes they're tight, especially in my case where a couple of the pipes were oval from shipping. Being able to get a pipe wrench on there and just turn it helped a lot, actually. So definitely not an official exhaust tool, but absolutely helped. So here we are, all the way done, all the way through. Doesn't bang in anything as it is. I'm sure once it's driving it might, but we're good for now. It's all up, everything's clamped and tightened. So that's it. This car's still in stock suspension. I have to order the stuff to lower it, but as of right now, it's in stock suspension. As you can see, there's a pile of tires out there. I was getting ready to put it down on its tires. It is, for all intents and purposes, ready to drive. It'll be able to come out of the garage on its own power here. So I'm gonna let it down and take it for a ride around the neighborhood. It's got no plates, no tags, so I can't really drive it, but here we are. And then hopefully it gets nice and low like the 900. I gotta figure out, I don't even know if they make springs for this car anymore. So we'll see. All right, so the time has come. You got everything on. I actually kind of want you guys' opinion. I'll pull this out of the garage in a second, but I'm trying to go for sort of a sleeper look with this car. I don't want it to be like outwardly obvious that it's modified. Do I go with the hammerheads, the stock wheels, or the Klingons? I'm gonna pull it out of the garage in a second here. These just happen to be the 4 tires that held air. So I have the hammerheads on the front and the Klingons on the back. Let me pull it out of here, and then we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. I don't know if this thing's actually going to come out of the garage. Ooh, this probably won't show because it's dark. Let's do this. Let's see. Let me put it here. Let's see how this goes. So I've only started it so far. I have not moved it. So I guess we're going to see how that goes. I bled the clutch, but I haven't tried to drive it yet. Alright guys, well here it is, running. The JT doesn't fit super great. I'm gonna have to work on that, but they're usually a little bit snugger, but it's crooked too. So there's that. Also sounds like a little bit of an exhaust leak up here. I'll have to figure that out. But I think we're all right otherwise. Let's see what the exhaust leak is up here.